Consider the right triangle inscribed within the unit circle. Write an equation that describes the three sides of the triangle simultaneously. Okay, well, you can tell that it has a radius of 1, and it has these two sides x, y. So the hypotenuse is 1, right? So if I go, this is A, this is B, and this is C, I know the Pythagorean theorem says a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I can say y squared plus x squared equals 1 squared. Okay, now it says use the fact that x squared plus y squared equals 1, and the other definition is problem 1 to write a new identity in terms of sines and cosines. Okay, well, I'm going to write it this way. Okay, and we know from what we already found out about basic identities that sine of u, or theta, equals y, and we know the cosine of u equals x. So y is really sine of u squared, x is cosine of u squared equals 1. So I can say that sine squared of u plus cosine squared of u equals 1. And that's how we write sine squared, like we're squaring the sine function, we're not squaring the u. Okay, a lot calculators like a TI calculator will make you type it in like that. That means we're squaring the whole function. And textbooks like to write it like that. Just a little aside. Okay, so now I have problems 8, 9, and 10, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the first of the Pythagorean identities. Sine squared of u plus cosine squared of u equals 1. And it's called Pythagorean identity because it's derived from the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, now it says divide each term by sine squared u. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to write it like this. So I'm going to divide every term by sine squared of u. So I get sine squared over sine squared. Well, that's just 1. And I get cosine squared over sine squared. Well, that's the cotangent squared. And that equals 1 over sine squared, so that's cosecant squared. So then I have another identity. 1 plus cotangent squared of u equals cosecant squared of u. And there's 3 Pythagorean identities, and let's get the third. It says divide each term by cosine squared. So we'll do that. I'll write it like that. I get sine squared over cosine squared is tangent squared plus 1 equals secant squared. And so that's our third Pythagorean identity. And I have to tell you, while I have all 3 mostly memorized now, what you really need to know is you need to have this one memorized, because by using division, you could always derive the other 2 pretty quickly. If you go back to trig or calc tests that I took in high school, probably in college as well, on the margins I probably have these things derived. And I just remember, and I could even get this one from deriving it because I just always know that x squared plus y squared equals 1. Alright, good luck.